Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers, or more commonly known as CACRAO and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to your presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO.org. The presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, CACRAO.org. I'd like to now turn it over to our presenters. Thank you so much.
Sorry guys, we were at the wrong point in the presentation. There we go.
Wonderful. Well, welcome everyone to our presentation about finding your best fit for college. Today you're going to hear from 3 different types of school. So first, Tyler Dew is going to tell us about the experiences at a 4-year school, and using Barton College as an example. Barton's in Wilson, North Carolina. And then we're going to hear from Tamira Stanton from Louisburg College, which is in Louisburg, North Carolina, and she's going to talk about 2-year college experiences. But first, I'm going to talk about finding your fit at a women's college. So my name is Claire Jones, and I am a senior admissions counselor at Meredith College in Raleigh, North Carolina. One more, perfect. And so if you haven't heard of us, Meredith College is a small private women's college in Raleigh, North Carolina. We were founded in 1891 with around 200 students, and now we have, almost 130 years later, a student body of about 2,000 students. Meredith has consistently been ranked as both a top regional and national college by U.S. News and World Report. Forbes ranks us among the top 20% of colleges in the country. And so when starting your college search and thinking about your best fit, you might not realize that many of the factors you're looking for in a school can be found at a women's college like Meredith. So when you're thinking about college, it is important to think about academics. You know, it is still school after all. You can start thinking about your ideal classroom experience. So would you maybe prefer a larger lecture hall or maybe a smaller discussion-based type class? At Meredith, for example, your average class size is going to be about 16 students per class, and your student to faculty ratio is going to be 11:1. So this just means that your classroom experience can not only be personalized to your interests, but it can also serve as an opportunity to get to know the people around you, both students and professors, in a more personal way. Another factor to consider is the academic rigor of your courses. So at Meredith, we offer over 80 different majors, minors, and concentrations for you to choose from, and many of those programs hold the highest level of accreditation in their fields. Our business program, for example, holds an AACSB accreditation, which is just the gold standard of accreditation for business schools. But Meredith is one of only 2 women's colleges in the world that holds that level of accreditation, which just means that our classroom experience is truly going to be the best out there. You know, women's colleges not only offer many academic options, but they offer a high level of academic rigor in those course offerings. So as you think about that classroom experience, start to think about things outside of the classroom as well that relate to academics. So experiential learning or outside of the classroom learning experiences like internships or research opportunities, they really provide you an opportunity to maybe learn more about your field of study and help get you a jump start on your career. At Meredith, we really believe that those experiences are essential to learning, which is why 97% of our students participate in some type of experiential learning. But another academic factor to think of when considering your best fit is to think about your plans after graduation. So maybe you intend to just jump right into the workforce, or maybe your career path requires a graduate degree. So if you're not sure if graduate school is your next step, but you want to be prepared just in case, Women's colleges actually have twice as many alums receive graduate degrees compared to women who graduated from co-ed public schools. So your academic experience at a women's college will not only prepare you for your immediate future, but your life beyond graduation as well. So another factor to consider when you think about your best fit is the campus environment of a school. This can mean many things. So first, try to think about your ideal social environment. So many times students wonder, how am I going to make friends, or how will I have a social life when I'm balancing all of these things? And, these are common questions you might ask anytime you're going into a new environment. Women's colleges are intentional communities that really foster lifelong friendships. At Meredith, we have many mentoring programs like our student advisors that greet you on move-in day and guide you throughout your first few months of college, or our Big Sis Little Sis program that pairs first-year students with third-year students, all with the goal of connecting new members to our current members of our community. A common misconception students often have is that you're only limited to do the things that are offered on your campus. And at Meredith, we are a member of the Cooperating Raleigh Colleges Agreement, and that grants students access to the facilities and allows them to participate in classes and activities at any of the other 5 schools in Raleigh. So that really opens the door to a lot of opportunities for students to not only meet new people, but participate in activities in their local community as well. So speaking of activities and community involvement, there are several ways to get involved outside of the classroom. Traditions are often a big part of the women's college experience, but we also offer many other activities such as service projects or performing arts as ways to get involved outside of the classroom. Athletics are also a big part of the college experience. Meredith actually offers 10 different Division III sports, which really allows for students to have a good balance of being both a student and an athlete during college. Campus life also offers many different affinity groups that cover a lot of different interests. So at Meredith, we offer over 100 different clubs and organizations that really range from academic clubs like your chemistry club or your communications club to religious organizations or clubs and organizations like student government. All of these opportunities really create leadership positions for our students. And the good thing about being at a women's college is that all of those leadership roles are filled by women. So when considering your best fit for college, make sure you also think of your outside of the classroom activities and other ways that you can get involved in campus. And at the end of the day, one of the most important factors for your college decision is to look for the outcomes that each college can provide you. So in considering women's colleges, there are many different types of outcomes to consider. Women's colleges are actually more likely than other graduates to be completely satisfied with the overall quality of education they receive. At Meredith, more than 95% of our graduates said that they would choose to attend Meredith all over again. And women's college graduates also say they feel more prepared for their first job compared to their peers at larger public co-ed schools. At Meredith, we not only prepare our graduates for their first job, but that also happens pretty soon after graduation. About 92% of our graduates are employed or enrolled in graduate programs a few short months after graduation. And there's many other statistics that show the benefits of attending a women's college. So if outcomes like these are a top priority for you, I do recommend adding a women's college to your list of prospective schools. But the best way to see if it's a good fit for you is to visit. So at Meredith, we offer several different ways for you to get a taste of the Meredith experience, either with a virtual visit or an in-person visit of campus. Whichever option you choose gives you the opportunity to meet one-on-one with your admissions counselor, like me, or a faculty member. You'll also meet with a faculty member who's ready to talk to you about how Meredith can help you reach your goals. So you can find more information on our website, which is meredith.edu. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tyler so we can learn more about Barton.
Yeah, thank you so much, Claire. That was awesome. So yeah, my name is Tyler Dew. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions at Barton College. We are a small private liberal arts school, and I'll get into everything going on. Just a little bit about me. I am an admissions counselor as well. I'm also an alumnus of the college, so I was class of 2018, greatest class of the world. And I don't let the gray hair fool you. So, I was only a couple years out of college, and I also played soccer all 4 years at Barton. So I love my Barton experience. I also applied to a bunch of different four-year schools and was recruited by a bunch of different four-year schools. So I understand the process and what it takes for every school. Every school is different, but at the same time, they all have a lot of similar quality as well. So let's get to it. So this first slide, just a little quick facts about Barton itself. We are the Bulldogs. You see our cool little mascot on the left there. We're located in Wilson, North Carolina. So we're not too far from Meredith, actually, in Louisburg. We're about not even 45 minutes west of Raleigh, about a couple hours from the coast. We are a smaller four-year college. We are smaller than Meredith even. The typical four-year college university is definitely going to be bigger than us. So our average class size is 16. We have a total enrollment of 1,100 students. You see that student faculty ratio is 11-1, so we are smaller. When you're doing your research on all these different colleges that you want to go to, make sure you have a feel for what you're looking for. If you're looking for, you want to go to a big school like maybe an NC State or ECU, like all my best friends went to, maybe we're not the right fit for you. However, if you're looking for more of a in-person, you want to know your professors, you want them to know you, you want the smaller class size, you want the hands-on experience, and you really want to maximize your learning potential, definitely think about going to a smaller school, especially Barton. We do a great job of really showing that we care for the students. We focus on the community. We focus on hands-on experience. And you see that little last point right there on the right, 50 plus clubs, 50 plus programs that you can major in, minor in, concentrate in. So even though we're small, we're definitely not lacking in opportunity. So here are some of our academic programs. Like I said, we focus on hands-on experience. It's going to be in every single major. A lot of small colleges are going to give you that really good hands-on experience. For us, we require internships with practically every major. So do a lot of small schools. Classes taught by faculty you see right there, extensive experience. So with our faculty at Barton, they're not just professors. Like they've actually been through what they're teaching, and now they're teaching you how to do it. So that's awesome. And really, they know you by name, and they all have office hours. They really care about you. Same with the staff and the faculty. So it really is a cool experience. And on the right side, those are our most popular programs. So nursing, business, biology, exercise science, really popular programs at Barton. And on this slide right here, so if you want to go ahead and take a screenshot of this, this is a list of everything that we have to offer. So like I said, do your research on all these colleges. For four-year colleges and universities, they all have different things that they are best at and they focus at. Example, bigger schools are going to be, really good with engineering programs, maybe computer information programs like computer science and stuff like that. Those are big school specialties. With small schools, you'll find a lot, especially Barton, we're known for nursing. We're also known for elementary education. So those are just different programs. If you want to be a teacher, or a nurse, getting that hands-on experience in a small school environment is going to be awesome for you. But if you're looking to be a mechanical or chemical engineer, you might want to look at a bigger school for sure. And then you see business administration, exercise science, also really great programs. On the right, this is something that four-year colleges and universities do really well. We call them pre-professional programs. So if you want to eventually go to dental school, law school, med school, what you'll do is you'll go to a four-year college or university, and you'll get all your prerequisites out of the way. Make sure you apply to whatever med school, dental school, law school you want to go to, and we'll lead you there. The benefit of a small school, you have connections. So all of our professors have connections to these awesome places. So a lot of 4 years do that. And study abroad. So a lot of four-year colleges and universities have study abroad programs, and you can go anywhere. A lot of them go to Europe. At Barton, we do something called Semester at Sea. We also have a week at spring break where we always take students to Ireland or somewhere cool like that. So a lot of 4 years offer this. So just do your research on where you want to go, what you want to do. We also partner with Charles University in Prague, so that's really cool. I know my sister went to Meredith, and she actually went to Italy for a whole semester. And athletics. So if you want to take a screenshot of this page right here too, Barton is NCAA Division II. we have around 23 total sports. So small college, a lot of opportunities. On the left, you see all the programs that we had to offer. I myself, like I mentioned earlier, was a soccer player. With Division II, it's mostly academic and athletic scholarship. We do offer athletic scholarship for sure, but it's going to be more of a combination of both. Division III schools is going to be all academic. Division I schools, you might have more opportunity for a full athletic scholarship, but Division II is that happy medium. You'll get a combination of athletic and academic. And here is a list of our co-curricular programs. So some of these are going to be completely unique to Barton, but some schools will have, for example, on the bottom, you see ROTC. A lot of schools will have ROTC. A lot of schools will have a pep band or a marching band. And a lot of schools are now adding an esports team. So, video gaming and stuff like that. I will say our space is one of the top spaces for sure. Really nice space. But a lot of schools are definitely adding that. But what is unique for Barton, you see the artworks. We created a program for our art students to travel around and see museums. Avid Higher Ed, we're the only college on the East Coast with an Avid program. So if you're an Avid in high school, you can get a scholarship to join our program here. And you see Healthcare Plus is for students interested in if they want to go to med school or if they want to do nursing or anything within the healthcare field. That program's created specifically for them, and they travel with that as well. Presidential Leadership Fellows has a really nice scholarship that comes with it, and that builds leadership within yourself and helps you build leadership skills and sends you out into the world. And all these programs have scholarships with them. And we really created these just to get more student involvement, to have a student maximize their potential in college. But like I said, some of these might be only for Barton, but RTC, stuff like that, esports, that's at a lot of four-year colleges and universities now. So if that's what you're into, definitely research it. A lot of different colleges have what they're strongest at, and they'll have scholarships for it too. So the admissions process is similar across the board. A big difference, you need to pay attention to watch out for the application fee. So some colleges have application fees. Some have essay requirements, like a college essay. Luckily for Barton, we don't, and a lot of smaller private schools actually don't require a fee or an essay. So we're blessed enough to do that. We don't have an application fee. We don't have an essay requirement. You just submit the application. It takes about 10 minutes to do. But what every school is going to need is your transcript. So your official high school transcript. If you're in North Carolina, you can submit that through CFNC. You can apply and submit it through Common App. Just get with your guidance counselor, have them send it. A lot of different ways, but we'll definitely need that to make that decision. A lot of schools require test scores. The difference now, though, COVID has kind of changed the game a little bit. So a lot of 4 years are becoming test optional. So do your research, ask your admissions counselor wherever you apply to see if they are test optional. For Barton, we're test optional for the students who haven't taken it yet, who are unable to. But if you have taken it, we do require it. And if you haven't, we'll just require 2 letters of recommendation instead of the test scores. But other 4 years in college, universities and colleges, they do not require it at all. They're completely test optional now. So definitely ask your admissions counselor about that. And financial aid and scholarship. So if you don't know what the FAFSA is, I highly recommend you Google it after this. So it's a FAFSA. It is the free application for student aid. Pretty much everybody has to do it. What you'll do is you'll fill out all that information for your family income and things like that. And it'll give you the option to send it to whatever college you want to. So if you apply and get accepted to 5 colleges, and those 5 colleges are where you're thinking about going, that's where you want to be, submit those, submit the FAFSA to all those colleges, and we'll package you and send you an award letter. And on the next slide here, you'll see on the left side, those are only based on academic performance, not at all based on the FAFSA or your family income. So when we say and encourage you to do well in school, we really mean it. If you look on the left at the bottom, you see the trustee scholarship is $14,000 per year for us. That is a big difference between the opportunity scholarship that's $5,000 per year, right? So a lot of colleges will offer merit scholarships that's based on your GPA in high school, based on your test scores. And the higher you go, the better, right? And endowed scholarships are unique to Barton as well. Have to submit the FAFSA for that. And then lastly, I'll just say visit. Claire mentioned it. You never know truly where you want to be until you actually step foot on campus. We offer virtual tours. We offer virtual open houses, but we're also open for in-person tours and in-person open houses. If you want to come to campus, We would love to have you. Wherever you're seriously considering, I highly suggest go to each and every one of them. And then you'll find out where you truly want to be, where you truly feel at home. And that's all I got to say. So I'll pass it off to Louisburg. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tyler. So my name's Tamara Staten. I'm the Director of Admissions at Louisburg College. I'm also an alumni from Louisburg. I actually participated in a women's basketball program and also the honors program while I was a student here. So I did my 2 years here, and then I actually transferred to a 4-year school and received my bachelor's. So there are 58 community colleges in the state of North Carolina. And so some of them I listed you may have heard of, such as like Guilford Tech Community College, there's Forsyth Tech, there's Nash Community College, different community colleges, but we are the only 2-year private residential college in the state of North Carolina. And so what that means is we're the only 2-year school that you can actually live and stay on campus in North Carolina. So you're getting that 4-year feel. So why students choose Louisburg? So 92% of our students graduate to a 4-year college and university. So we are a stepping stone for, so you're getting your foundation of the courses you need, because anywhere you go to your first 2 years, you all are learning similar information. So you're getting that foundation, and then we're here to actually help you transfer to that next school. Also, 95% of our students live on campus in our residence halls. 100% of our students, 100% of Louisburg College students receive institutional aid. So right off of applying, we do look at your GPA, but all of our students, the minimum is $5,000 in opportunity scholarship, and each student can receive that, and the maximum being $8,000. And then freshmen and sophomores lead 100% of clubs and organizations in athletics. And so I love that joke because we only have freshmen and sophomores here. So there's no, fighting and fussing about, seniors are starting here, but you guys will be firsthand, and we're developing leaders early on. And I often say 4-year schools love transfer students. You're used to the how college goes. For athletics, you're used to the speed of the games and and you're already used to, your first 2 years being a student athlete. And we do have 13 intercollegiate athletic teams, and I have a slide later on that tells you each sport and the division we have. And there is no extra cost for your books, and so books are already included. It actually works as a rental system at our school. So different community colleges offer associate degrees. And so also there are like trade degrees, such as you have cosmetology, you have dental hygienist, those type of, or welding. And so Louisburg, we actually only offer associate degrees geared towards sending you to a 4-year school. So we don't have any trade degrees, but we have your associates in arts. So students who may be interested in like journalism, or like myself, I received my associates in general college. And so that's, and then I went on with sociology. And so around that area, and then we have our associates in science. And so maybe if you're interested in nursing or pre-med or physical therapy, you can start and get the foundations of those courses. And then there's also associates in science and business. So anyone interested in finances, accounting, business management, you can start there. And then associates in education. So if I have any teachers, or even if you want to thinking about coaching, you can also start there as well. And we have individualized academic advising. So we pair you up with either a professor or also one of the coaches if you're part of a sports team, and they actually help you one-on-one choose your classes each semester. So along with individualized academic advising, we also have actually a specific program called Learning Partners that actually helps students with, say, IEPs or 504s, or learning disabilities. And so we also actually have a panel about that on October 6th at 10 a.m. And so you can see that as well if you want to learn more about that and how to navigate college while having a learning disability. So getting involved. So we want you to do more than just go to class. We want you to have fun while you're on campus. And so we do have 30 different clubs and organizations and leadership opportunities on our campus. So some include our martial arts club. We have drama club, ultimate frisbee. So different things we want you to get involved in. And so each semester we have what's called an engagement fair. So it gives you time to actually look and see what we have to offer for you guys. And you just sign your name, your email, you show up, boom, you're in a club. You get to meet new people outside of the classroom as well. And then we also offer work study jobs too in different departments, such as like in admissions and financial aid, in the library, so different things on campus. And so also getting involved in athletics. So we are Division 1, 2, and 3 in the NJCAA, so National Junior College Athletic Association. And so our Division 1 sports are soccer, baseball, cross country, track. Our Division 2 is basketball and volleyball, and then our Division 3 is football. So our Division 1 and 2 sports can still receive athletic scholarship. So and cheer can also receive scholarship as well. And so that is based on recruitment. And so if you're looking to play a sport and start at a junior college, then you definitely reach out to the coach. It looks good if you have any film to send the coaches. It also looks good if your current like high school coach can send them an email or call them just to, we want to know more than what you can do on the court, but how you are as a person as well. And so to compete here. And then of course, not only are the faculty and staff here to help you transfer, but those coaches are in your corner as well to see where you can finish at your 4-year as well. So 2 years and where to next? So our goal is your goal. So we definitely want you to finish strong. So 4-year schools look at your transcript from here. So we want you to succeed. And with us being a smaller college, average classroom size of 19, and 14 to 1 student to faculty ratio, we want you to get that foundation, and we want you to succeed so that you can transfer to these different schools, whether you're in state or out of state. We're trying to get you where you see where's best fit for you. So a little bit about Louisburg College admissions process. So we do look at your high school transcript, and then we are SAT and ACT optional, and so you can kind of see what some of our requirements for clear acceptance. So definitely we would like for that 2.0 or higher, but we are flexible with a little bit below there, and that is called conditionally accepted. And so you still have that opportunity to prove yourself the first semester to continue to that following semester. And then also we do require at least 3 of math. So math 1, math 2, math 3, algebra 1, algebra 2. That's important to us for your admissions acceptance. And so below is also an email and a phone number, how to contact us. We do waive your application fee if you come for a visit. So all of us are stressing visit, visit, visit. So that is very important because you never know. We can be telling you all of this great stuff, but you won't know until you actually see the campus, virtual visits, on-campus visits. So we want to actually meet you guys in person and instead of over the phone or anything like that. That's for me.
All right, so we will take a look at the Q&A box to see if there are any questions. So if you have any questions for Meredith, Barton, Louisburg, please go ahead and send those now. We would love to answer your questions. So while we are waiting for questions to come in, I just wanted to ask, are there any special traditions that you have on your campus that's really memorable that you would like to share?
I can start for sure. So my favorite that Barton does, we have like tons of awesome traditions like glow in the dark, Easter egg hunt, and like Christmas related, holiday related stuff. But my personal favorite as a student was exam breakfast. So exam breakfast, when exams come in college, they can be stressful for sure. And that's just how it is with college. But at Barton, we try to do whatever we can to support the students. So with exam breakfast, what we do is that we host about 10 o'clock at night in the Culinary Center, which we call our cafeteria. We have all the professors and the faculty and staff go in and actually serve the students breakfast. So the professors that are actually going to be giving you the exam the next day are serving you food. And you eat bread like pancakes, waffles, bacon at like 10 o'clock at night. And there's a raffle. So one of my friends won a widescreen TV. Another one of my friends won like really nice wireless headphones. And I once won water balloons, which pale in comparison, but I still won something. So that's my favorite tradition by far at Barton. I had a blast. I went to it every year.
So we did have a question come in the meantime. So are there any ballet programs at Meredith or Barton?
Yeah, so we do have ballet courses. It's part of our dance program. So even if you're not a dance major or have a dance minor, you can still take those ballet classes for credit, which is just great for you because you're not only getting to do the activity you love, but you're getting credit towards your degree as well. So you do get to choose that level of commitment if you want to take, it doesn't take many classes to equal a minor. So if you enjoy taking those classes, just add on a dance minor to whatever you're planning on doing. But I think there's at least 4 levels of ballet offered at Meredith.
That's awesome. And so as for Barton, we don't have anything specific for ballet, like classes or minors or anything like that, but we do have a dance team. So they go hand in hand with our cheer and dance team. They are considered part of our athletic program. So they are with athletics. They do have trainers and everything like that and their own coach. And you do get a scholarship to be a part of it. So every student on the dance team has a scholarship. So if you do any type of dancing, whether it's ballet or anything else, and you want to be a part of an athletic program, definitely, come to Barton for your 4 years. You'll have a blast.
All right, we have a question for Barton. What was your first year like, and any advice for juniors?
Yeah, so my first year at Barton, it was a great experience. So I tell this to everybody. When I first was there, I was somebody who wasn't very involved. I played soccer, but I wasn't involved. So once the soccer season ended, I didn't know anybody. And I was just kind of in my room watching Netflix, playing Xbox, which is not the best college experience in the world because you can do that anywhere. So my experience really took a jump when I got involved. So I got involved with the orientation team. You meet everybody on campus. I got involved with the tutoring. So I became an oral communications tutor. And doing things like that. And I started doing the campus traditions like the exam breakfast and everything like that. And then I got to know everybody. And the cool thing about Barton, we really are a community. So the more involved you get, the more friends you make. And the more friends you make, the more home it actually feels like. So my first semester, I didn't necessarily feel like it was home to me. But once I got involved, oh man, I was hooked. And I knew I was going to stay at Barton all 4 years. So I highly encourage, no matter where you go, if you go to Meredith or Louisburg, your first year, get involved in anything that you can, and you will not regret it for sure.
All right, so we have another question. How is the school spirit for Meredith, Louisburg, and Barton?
I guess I'll go first. I haven't spoke yet. The school spirit here. So picture this. Louisburg is not a huge place. So whenever we have school events, it was like the whole campus was there to support and everything. And Louisburg loves to give T-shirts. I was stickler to going to every event that gave away free T-shirts. So the school spirit was, I enjoyed it when I was playing basketball here. I went to support any game I could attend. So I very much enjoyed the school spirit and everything.
Yeah, I think that the school spirit at Meredith could definitely be seen on campus. We may be in Raleigh, but we have sort of our smaller community in the middle of the city. So you'll see a lot of familiar faces just by walking around. I always joke that during our 45-minute walking tour of campus, like I guarantee you'll run into at least 2 people that we had seen maybe at the start of the tour. You'll probably run into them again before the tour's over. So you definitely get to meet a lot of the people, or at least familiarize yourself with the people on campus. But I always like, and this goes back to the question about traditions on campus. One of my favorite traditions that we have at Meredith is the class ring. When you when you've completed 60 credit hours on campus, you get to buy your class ring, which is a beautiful black onyx. And so that class ring is sort of the symbol of Meredith. You'll see it anywhere. So you might be at Target and you'll see someone and start up a conversation, or you might be in an airport in some faraway place. And we've had so many stories of people spotting people across this large room of people and finding that onyx. So the community at Meredith, you definitely see it while you're on campus, but that ring's sort of that identifier that you can spot the community really anywhere.
That's cool. That's cool. And so for Barton, the spirit is just a really cool atmosphere, mainly because, like I mentioned before, we have about 23 different athletic programs and like athletic teams, and you're going to know them. So, you're in class with them. It's a small college. You get to know them personally. So even though I was a soccer player, I was friends with people on the volleyball team, men and women's volleyball team, the basketball team. Now we have football. So the football teams becoming friends with everybody. So whenever you go and watch them play, you know them personally, and it is the coolest thing. So I would go to – we played NC State in basketball for the preseason, and literally it felt like the whole college all went to NC State, and we all sat in our own little Barton section, and we were cheering them on. And it's cool because, like, those are my friends out there playing against this big D1 college, and, like, they were doing well. And we played UNC Chapel Hill too, Clemson. Only lost to Clemson by like 5 points. And those are my friends out there playing and killing it. And that's the coolest experience ever. So everybody supports each other at Barton because you know everybody. Your friends are going to come out. Like, I had so many friends come out to my soccer games, cheer me on. I would go to the volleyball games and cheer all my best friends on. So it's just a family friendly atmosphere, man. And you know everybody. Those are your friends out there competing. So it's really cool. And we do this cool thing called like the Spirit of Barton Award. So, it goes out to student, faculty, and staff members who have the most spirit. And we have a spirit stick at homecoming games. And it's just a lot of cool stuff that we do. And given the amount of student athletes we have on campus, we definitely have big school spirit with sports. Absolutely. And also, I forgot to answer the second part of the question, my advice for juniors. I forgot about that. My advice, and we've all said it before, but junior year is prime time to visit colleges. It really is, because then when you're applying to colleges your senior year, you're already going to know where you like. So junior year, if you can find time, visit as many colleges as you want to. And then take in what you're listening to now. Eventually you're going to have to submit the transcript, test scores, and FAFSA. Maybe not this year, but you will have to next year. So continue doing well in school. You saw the academic scholarships and how we base that off of. So you have something to shoot for. You see the honors programs that all of our colleges have. That's something to shoot for. But definitely junior year, prime time to visit, for sure.
Myra and Claire, do you have any advice from your side of things?
He definitely hit on the good things. Visiting. I always love this advice for student athletes. When you're visiting these schools, you want to make sure that you like these outside of athletics. So I've torn 2 ACLs, so I've been hurt before. So I knew that if I was going to attend a college, I wanted to know, do I like them outside of athletics? So that's one of the big things for me, because once my knees were gone, I had just focus on academics. But I definitely want to make sure you guys like it more than just the athletics.
Yeah, I think that visiting is always my number one. But also I think that there's things to think about when you're visiting. So sometimes you can visit more than once for 2 different things. So you might go to a campus one time and only see it for one thing, and then visit the next year, maybe your senior year, and see it in a whole different light. So whether it's, your first year, junior year, you might look at it for athletics, and then that senior year you look at it for academics, or maybe your interests have changed and so you're only looking for schools with fashion design your junior year, but then you find out now you really like chemistry and you want to look for something else. So I think that don't just limit it to a one-time experience, sort of look all aspects of the school whenever you get a chance to visit. And that can be virtually too. We have virtual tours. You can do that too. So
awesome. So I do have a question. Do you have community partnerships for service projects? That's a general question for everyone.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
So we have several different service projects that we go out into the local Raleigh community. Usually it's not always the same community like group we're working with. For example, like our Splash into Service is our service project that really kicks off the year. It happens the first weekend that school starts. And I think 2 years ago, we went to several different community gardens. So we went to one community garden here on campus. We went to a local Raleigh community garden, and then we went to a community garden sort of outside of the Raleigh area. So it isn't always the exact same community groups that we're working with, but you're definitely getting that involvement every year. There's always a different opportunity.
Yeah, awesome. And also at Barton, we have those opportunities too. We have a person specifically working, finding those opportunities, connecting that with the students, sending emails out, say, hey, here's this opportunity. Something really cool that we do, we call it Day of Service. So we take a day every year away from class. So it's like on a Wednesday. Everybody skips class, including the faculty. We all skip class, and we all go do different community service projects. So as a part of the soccer team, we would always go to an elementary school and host a little soccer camp. Other teams and other student groups and majors, they would go off. They would plant gardens, and they would clean up buildings and like help build buildings, different things like that. And we take the whole day to do that. And that is honestly one of the greatest traditions at Barton as well. Also, if you're a member of our Presidential Leadership Fellows, one of those cohorts I mentioned earlier, they have tons of opportunity for community service. It's actually really encouraged for community service. And there's also a couple classes at Barton that require a certain amount of hours for community service. And we definitely have those connections around the community as well, whether that's in Wilson or anywhere else in the state.
So for Louisburg, we have what's called a Great Futures Office and a Great Futures Coach. And so this office helps with job shadowing, transfer, and internships as well. And so you're not having to do these things by yourself. I actually used it when I was a student, wanted to be a social worker at the time. And so I spoke with the local, with the Great Futures Coach, and she got me connected with the social work office in town. And so I got to see how it was. I got to ask the questions that I wanted. I got to go on a ride along with the social worker. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a social worker, but that is okay. I got to see that experience and go through, and that's what college is about, is learning and figuring out where you want to do it in the real world. And so definitely we have those connections as well that we can get you connected with.
Great. Thank you, guys. So we may have time for just one more question, but we are coming to the end of our time here. It's been awesome. We hope that we answered your questions and gave you lots of information today about these 3 wonderful schools. So we may have time for one more question, one quick question. But if we don't get anything in, we are so glad that you all have joined us today. All right, I'm not seeing anything come through. All right, any last minute pieces of advice or anything else you'd like to say? Good. All right, sounds good.
Thank you, panelists, and thank you, students and counselors, for joining us today. When you close this window, there will be a link to a really quick 4-question survey. We'd really appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted. So to be sure to sign up for any additional sessions, please go to CACRAO, CACRAO.org. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other session recordings at CACRAO.org. Thank you so much.